Well, we were in Italy and we went up Mount Vesuvius and I heard the voice of Zeus and it said, Hayden, you are meant to be a dad.
Why do you parent like that?
Kia ora, welcome back for another week to Why Do You Parent Like That podcast. It is so lovely to have you here. My name is Abby Harrison and I am the creator and host of this podcast. If you've just joined us for the first time today, you've joined at a funny time because it is our season 1 finale episode today. There has been 20 episodes in season 1 and today is number 20. And then I'm going to take a month's break from posting episodes and we'll be back for season 2 on September 9th. That is September 9th, guys. Mark it in your calendars. Make sure you're subscribed so that you're seeing our updates and then you don't have to remember. You can just see it come back into your feed and feel the familiarity of my voice again. The big news this week is that we raised a bunch of money for Gaza. A bunch of money. In fact, the total I don't even know yet. I still am waiting to see what it comes in as, and I will definitely post a little mini update during the break to tell you what the total came in at. But I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who so generously donated, people who shared, people who listened. But I really wanted to take a second to highlight some of the brands and creators and celebrities that donated to the Gaza fundraiser. And so I'm going to read them out. And I know that you're going to want to skip this, but please don't. Please listen to them, make note of them. And if you need any of these products or services or are looking for people to follow, please go to these guys because they're being values led and that takes bravery. And we're so grateful to them. So some of these are listeners as well. So there are some listener names in here, but the majority are businesses and celebrities and creators. So we'll start with Benny and the Jets, Imperfect Parents, Neverland Dance Studios, Viva La Vulva, Bountiful, Renata Roaming, Chantal Couther's Nutrition, Rebecca J. Kyle, Entwined Parenting, Bree Crosweller, Steph Monks, Peppy and Parent, Shrenika from Little Beat First Aid, Dr. Morgan Edwards, Caitlin Nugent, The Baby Namer, Brittany Neely, Joe Robertson, The Sleep Store, FemForce NZ, Love from Your Dads, Jess Quinn, Greer Petanara, Mocha Creative, Miss Polly's Kitchen, My Parents, Artemis Ceramics, Minimalo Store, Bear and Moo, A Bit On Store, Marianne and Fonte, Sharon Casey, Kasha Colmus, Bribed with Snacks, Edwards & Co., Maria Foy, Muted Moments, More Than Milk, Two Islands Co., Little People Big Emotions, Jess Blair, Finding Alex, Brianna Jo Berry, Hannah Leahy, PJ Harding, Anna Reeve, Louisa Morley, Laura McGoldrick, Mum Store, Connect OT, Zenat Wilkinson, Ella and Ryan Surrant. Thank you, thank you, thank you all so much for your donation. It has just made the biggest difference. Israel are letting through small amounts of medicine and food and water, and so the prices of those things are absolutely extortionate. Like I saw just before that a bag of flour was costing 850 New Zealand dollars, so everything is so helpful right now. We are making the difference for people being able to access medicine and food and water. So we are very grateful. It takes a lot to be brave and stand by your values and stand up for what you believe in, especially when you're a business or a content creator or you rely on an audience. And I'm just so grateful for all these people for doing that. So thank you. So today is the season finale of season 1 of Why Do You Parent Like That? And I'm so grateful, so grateful to all of you for being here for the first 20 episodes. I just wish I could go back and show earlier this year, Abby, what this year was going to look like. I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here and please don't leave me because I take a break for a month. I'm really needing a bit of a break and so grateful to be getting a break and just can't wait to come back ready for season 2. The episode today is a cracker. It's a great one. It is my brother-in-law, Hayden Donnell. Hayden's pretty awesome. He writes for the Spinoff, but he's also worked at RNZ, and he has had his own TV series called Get It to Te Papa, where he finds things that he thinks should be in Te Papa, things of cultural significance to New Zealand, like the Waitangi dildo and the big fresh animatronic vegetables. He is a wonderful guy. We have a hilarious dynamic. This is what it's like for us hanging out at family dinners, and I'm so glad we could bring it to your podcast feeds. In the meantime, follow us on social media. all the things linked in the show notes. Do all the things, like, comment, subscribe, share it around. Don't forget to keep listening during the break. If there's episodes you've missed, go back and catch up. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you in season 2. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. I know I say it every week, but I mean it very sincerely, and I can't wait to be here soon again. Love you. Say it back.
Why do you parent like that?
Today's guest is the first ever family member to appear on this podcast, which feels both overdue and mildly risky. Hayden Donnell is a journalist, writer, musician, podcaster, and dad of 2, and my brother-in-law, we think. Our spouses are siblings, and yes, we have both somehow married into what might be the most emotionally stable and functional family in the country, which is both a blessing and a very high bar. You might know Hayden from the Spinoff, where he writes very serious articles about very serious things like media collapse, housing policy, climate doom, and occasionally things like the downfall of News Talk ZB. He somehow manages to be funny while doing it, which should probably be illegal. He's also part of the band Great North, RIP, which makes very beautiful, very sad music, ideal for crying in the car or emotionally processing in your garage, or for me, listening to during labour, which I don't know if you know that, but I listened to a lot of Great North while I was in labour with both of my children. He and his wife Rachel...
That's what I designed it for.
I know! He and his wife Rachel have 2 small children, Thomas and Francis. Parenting for Hayden isn't just something you do, it's something you overthink, wrestle with philosophically, and occasionally lose sleep over, even when the kids are sleeping just fine. Hayden, welcome to the podcast.
Kia ora. I just want to clarify something, that News Talk ZB, there will never be a downfall. That thing's a cockroach. That will
keeps
last
going.
forever.
I actually don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying that, because I think, is News Talk ZB NZME?
Yes.
Yeah, so am I, so I might have to take that out, but...
That's fine.
It's
You're
fine.
allowed to
It's
criticize in-house.
social commentary, right? Yeah, totally. Cool. So if people have not met you on the internet or through your work, how do you introduce yourself professionally?
Oh, that's a hard question. I'm just like, I'm primarily a commentator. I feel like I've created somehow a living out of just vomiting my opinions onto the internet in hopefully slightly eloquent ways or maybe funny ways. That's where I've crafted my niche. But I'm also, I would say New Zealand's foremost expert on the big fresh animatronic fruit and veggies. I'd say the nation's foremost expert on the Waitangi dildo. I know a lot about how it was thrown, where it was thrown, why its current or eventual location, that kind of thing. And so I spend a lot of time thinking about New Zealand artifacts and
National
cultural
treasures.
icons, national treasures. So that's my other little niche that I do pursue. I've spent a lot of time on that.
Hayden did have a TV show, where do people find it at the
I
moment?
think it's just on YouTube now. I think it got ditched by lots of streaming services when they realized who I was. And you can just look it up. Get it to Te Papa.
Yeah, it's called Get It to Te Papa, and basically Hayden went up and down the country and found cultural artifacts such as the Waitangi dildo and the what is it? What are the fresh? This was before my
Big fresh
time.
animatronic
Big
fruit
fresh.
and veggie. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, it's very
Sorry.
millennial. A lot of if you're a little bit older, you will remember the supermarket Big Fresh and the vegetables that would move. Terrifying vegetables, but also very compelling. Yeah, I found
I'm quite
them,
scared
Suzanne
of
Paul.
mascots. And so when I saw those animatronic things and Get It to Papa, I was like, that really hits the mascot terrifying. They sort of like fit in the same category for me. So they're quite scary to me.
Yeah, well, you should have seen them back in the day because they had haunting music as well that would play. But the upside of it was that you would get free bread rolls when you got in, which always felt like an incredible treat. You know, just if your mother at the time gave you a plain bread roll with nothing on it, you'd be like, what's gone wrong with you?
Why do you hate
having
me?
a nervous breakdown? But if you go into a supermarket and get one for free, it's like amazing treat.
That's how I feel about, though, like the free fruit. Man, if I tried to give Freddie just like an apple by itself as a snack, he would be like, why have you had an aneurysm? But when we go into a supermarket and I give him a free apple, boy, is he excited about that free apple.
Yeah. Same with my kids. Just the free fruit stand and countdown. It's like the
Yeah.
only way that I can actually voluntarily make them eat fruit.
Just
I
like
just need
cycle
to
back through
just cycle back every hour. This is like the only way that they don't get scurvy. Is I'm just like going back. Going
Start
the
talking to the supermarket
again.
owners about like adding in some veggies as well.
Yeah, I should. This is how this is my parenting tip. This is my solution tip. You've got a picky eater. Well, just talk to your local countdown about getting some beans put in the
Yeah.
free fruit bin.
Great, and that's all we've got time for today. That's Hayden speaking.
Happy to.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll crack straight into the questions. Yeah, so just quickly to explain the family connection, Hayden's wife and my husband are siblings. So Hayden and I are not directly related. We are related through lots of layers of marriage, but we
I think
are
that
auntie and uncle to each other's children.
That's right. I'm
Yes.
uncle to Freddie.
Yes, and Max as well.
And Max. See,
You don't know her very well yet.
Yeah, we're working on that. And I think that we fill the same role in our families, really, don't we?
We do. I think
We're
we bring
like
the
chaotic, unstable element.
Yeah. It was like, I think that I say the Harrisons were like too balanced, and so they had to bring in, sort of outsource some slightly neurotic, like mentally unstable, on SSRIs kind of, family members to keep things interesting.
That's me. And I guess if you think of it like an atom, like they're like the neutron or something, and we're like the electron, like buzzing about and
Yes, very frenetic.
Yeah,
like, it's good.
Quantum physics, like disappearing, reappearing, weird things happening all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know what the kids are. Maybe the proton.
We've got time to find out. It's a bit scary thinking about. I always say that I hope that both of our children are much more Harrison than they are me. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Yes. It's a powerful force, though.
I know. Our genetics are good.
Yeah.
Strong genes from both of us.
It's hard. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Like their sanity and our insanity.
Yes. Hopefully they'll just like meet in the middle nicely, but we'll find out. We've got so many years to see what that's going to look like. All right, let's crack into it. Tell me about your journey to becoming a parent.
Well, we were in Italy and we went up Mount Vesuvius and I heard the voice of Zeus and it said, Hayden, you are meant to be a dad.
You must procreate. Go forth.
I really struggled thinking about this because I don't have a good story. That one isn't true.
Yeah.
Sorry to let everyone down.
My story about this is that you had your son and I loved him so much and I was like, I want one. And then we had one.
That's wild. Well, because that is such a misleading statistic for you, right? Because like Thomas was kind of an angel.
He was.
Freddie's pretty chill too.
Freddie was also an angel. We were lucky that we also had quite an angel baby after seeing your angel baby, but it's 100% your guys' fault that we are parents.
That was a high risk maneuver. But yeah, I feel like my journey to becoming a parent, like lots of people have amazing or sad or difficult journeys, and mainly mine was just a complete indecision. It was like we kind of talked about having them and then we're just like, what if we just weren't very careful?
Yeah.
And then let God sort it out. And sorted it out remarkably quickly, actually.
Incredibly quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't want one, if you don't want one, then that's not a good tactic. I wouldn't say that. But I feel like this for a lot of things in my life, everyone's like, if you know, or you just like, there'll be a defining lightning rod moment. And I just don't think that has necessarily been the case for me.
So then how did you decide to do it? That's like quite a high risk, like what was the conversation like of, oh yeah, we should do this?
There was kind of like a pros and cons. I think that you just had a lot of life stretching out before you, right? Hopefully. Like 50 years. And it's going pretty well, but like maybe this is our chance to do something different if we want to do it.
Yeah.
This is like, we're like 30s.
This is the time.
This is kind of the time where, you know, it's still possible. You're not in
Yeah.
a geriatric pregnancy. They become geriatric quite early, those pregnancies.
Wildly early.
Yeah, wildly early. You're like, what? I'm
It's
what now?
35, which is horrible.
Yeah. I think Rachel was like 32 or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we had Thomas. So,
Yeah.
and there was no lightning rod moment. It was really just, do we want these at all? This is the time. And it's a huge life change, and there are real negatives to it in terms of our freedom and our personal autonomy. We weren't going into that like, oh, that's going to be totally fine. But there was also real upsides in terms of, I guess, for me, like, we got cats, and I loved the experience of taking care of something else, and there's a real joy in that. And also just that thing of seeing life again through someone else's eyes is quite appealing, and like helping someone into adulthood and getting to experience life and its blessings and its curses and giving that to someone else is quite a nice thing. And so there was that, but then there was also like, I didn't realize how little I would ever be able to travel again and how little money I would have comparatively. I think I was still a bit naive to that stuff.
I just don't know if you can actually like fully comprehend like how much freedom you're sacrificing until you do it. Like I actually just don't know if there's a way to describe that to someone.
Yeah, because it's kind of it's just so many different ways and over such a long period of time. That sounds so bleak. It's like, yeah.
We do enjoy it. We do love our children. We love being parents, but it's a huge sacrifice. And it's like in all these areas of your life. Like the other day I was in the shower and Freddie, Max, and our cat Dottie were all in the bathroom with me. And I was like, I wonder if when will I have a shower again where there isn't like one spectator? Like just that level of like, I'd just love to have a shower without somebody else in the room. That would be so good.
Yeah, the personal space aspect, it also extends to shitting, let's face it.
Especially when you're toilet training a kid, because they're meant to know how normal and great it is.
Yeah, and then you're like, it's great doing this. Love having you here.
Wow, this is so normal. What a cool and fun and normal time. And like,
I mean, you're doing bedtimes every night. If you're going anywhere, you have to have them. People that have like pets, it's like kind of that on steroids. But you don't have to buy your pet a seat on the airplane for full price.
yeah, what is that about,
an
man?
airplane
They're
again.
so small. No, I know. I saw this like occasionally my TikTok because I love astrology, so occasionally TikTok throws up like quite witchy stuff to me. And one of them the other day was like, if you're seeing this video, you will be on a plane soon, leaving New Zealand. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a mother.
I don't believe in astrology anymore.
And there goes all of my beliefs.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like a religious conversion experience, but in reverse.
Truly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to tell us a little bit about, like, obviously you were not the pregnant one, but you were supporting a pregnant one and birth for both? You don't have to go into huge detail, but just like a brief overview of what that kind of like pregnancy, birth, early postpartum was like for you guys.
It was relatively blessed, but Thomas, our first boy, who's now 6, there was some scares because it now makes sense. He is very small, and
Little
I think
boy.
that's simply because he is a small boy.
What?
If you,
He's just small?
yeah, Abby, you can verify this.
He is a small boy. But he
He's
makes
like
up
a
for it
stick
in
figure.
fantastic personality. So don't you
Really
worry,
big.
everyone. Boy, his presence is no one in a room.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a massive personality, but a stick figure body. And he was like second percentile in size and stuff. So we were closely monitored through that pregnancy. And there was also a weird situation where the midwife was checking him and his heart was like skipping heaps of beats. So we had to rush to Starship halfway through, and we thought that he was just going to die. But I think that the main thing, or like, that's what you immediately like.
Yes, that's the panic.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's especially first pregnancy, you're very, very scared. And there was
And also, as soon as someone says like heart, you're like, well, you can't live without a heart. Your heart needs to be beating.
I think he was gripping the cord to the placenta and was screwing up something.
Cool.
We had that drama, and he had to be induced because he was so small, and we somehow got that booked for like the busiest week in North Shore Hospital history or something. Rachel was in there for like 4 days.
Yeah.
And it got to the point that my birthday was like the day before he was born, and so they actually gave us like leave to like leave the hospital and like go to dinner, which they don't usually do. I probably
No, if you've ever had an induction experience, they don't tend to give you induction methods and then let you leave, but that's sort of a good...
But when you've been there for 4 days, they're like, we have to get them out. They're literally in jail right now.
Like nothing is happening.
There was multiple times where I was called in, and then they were trying to like break her waters, and then they were just like, "Oh no, gotta go. There's another one popping out. We have to C-section it." They broke her waters, and Thomas got the hook up there.
Yeah,
this is how they do it,
just like that. Sorry for the audio listeners, you're not going to know, but Hayden's doing just a terrifying kind of like hooking motion with his hands.
Yeah, and they couldn't break them. I don't know why I'm saying this, but hey, guys. And so they couldn't break them, and they're rummaging around. Sorry, Rachel, too. But they had to like do it really strongly, and they got his head, and like Rachel could feel him like retracting up into his rib cage to try and get away from this hook that was scratching his head. Then she finally got induced, and it was great. It was fine. The epidural that she requested failed, so that was not ideal.
Not ideal.
And the epidural guy came in and like stuck the needle in, and then they did the test, and she's like, I can still feel everything. And then they're like, let's try it again. And then the midwife did a check of her dilation and was like, no, that baby's coming out now. Don't put another epidural in. And I just saw this, like, there was a young epidural guy. What are that? I don't know what type of doctor that is. It's probably that. That makes sense, eh? It's an anaesthetist.
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw him kind of melting into the background. It's like the midwife team came in. And goodbye. My work here is done.
I think.
But when Thomas came out, he had like scratches all over his head from the hook.
From the hook.
Yeah, he got hooked.
He got hooked. And am I right in thinking that because he was so small, they had like pediatricians on standby in case he was like not okay when he came out?
Yes, and I think you'll be familiar with this. You kind of don't even realize it at the time because they treat it so calmly.
Yeah.
But like it's like a 5-star alarm. There's quite a few people around, and they immediately got him over to the scales and just checked that he was kind of all right.
Yeah.
And he was a little baby, but he wasn't that little. He was actually fine. He actually came out 3 kgs on the dot, and he was like 1 gram over, and it meant that we could get discharged and go to birth care, which is still, I think, Rachel's like ultimate experience if you're ever thinking about going to birth care. I was like getting blood transfusions because of how terrible my postpartum hemorrhage was, and I was still like, and so when can I go to birth care, please? And they were like, can we just like get your blood levels back to like you're a living human before we talk about this? Can we ensure that you are not dead before you check in?
Yeah. They were like, hey, how about we get the blood that you need to live in your body back, and then we can talk about discharging you for an hour's drive up to Warkworth. Thank you so much.
They are so good about not making you feel like you are, about to die. Because that wouldn't have been helpful.
Know. Yeah. I didn't know. And then in the debrief, they were like, yeah, there was a second there we were quite worried. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's when the trauma hit me. I was like, oh, I almost died and I didn't even know I was almost dying. Cool.
Yeah, I just thought I was going to have a nice nap.
Truly. I was like, I got my midwife, like, because your midwife comes with you if you need to go to theatre. They, like, take you down to, like, keep you calm. And my midwife was like, are you doing okay? And I was like, oh, I'm stoked. Like, I get to have a little sleep. How many people get to have a little sleep after labour? And she was like, can you just, like, not make jokes about having a sleep right now? I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. We're actually quite scared. But they're so calm about it that you
Yeah.
just don't know. They are very good
Yeah.
at their jobs and they see a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then Frances, she was late. She was a normal size. How was her birth?
Big girl. Her
Big
birth
girl.
was like way, not way harder. It was just a bit harder because she's big girl. She's not really a big. She's just a normal size. But she
Big
was a
girl compared to
bigger
Thomas.
compared to Thomas, compared to the little
Yeah.
2%er.
Yeah.
And Rachel kind of just absolutely, I don't know, just like I don't know what the word is for it. I want to say something that doesn't that isn't appropriate, but really, I want to say she like raw dogged the
Oh,
birth.
yeah.
That's a bad
Yeah.
word for it. Like she
But
just did
I get what you
nothing.
mean.
You know, she did
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
and just kind of like wandered around, and then Francis somehow ended up against her spine, which I think is not
Oh,
ideal.
posterior. Hurts.
Yeah, really painful. So that was a bit shite for a
Yeah.
second, but she still came out in a few hours and it was kind of okay. And then
Mm.
my big, beautiful girl, Frances, and that was kind of okay. There's no real
Yeah.
problem there.
And then you went to it was straight into lockdown, right?
Oh, that was a bit bad. Oh,
That
thanks
was
for
tough.
that. Why did you?
Sorry.
Yeah, we went to birth care and we're like watching TV a couple of days later, and it's Jacinda, and she's like, "Got a bunch of cases of COVID. You're going into lockdown."
Yeah.
I was like,
This
"Not
was the
ideal
2021
timing."
lockdown, so we already knew what lockdown was.
Yes,
Not
and
ideal.
it turned out to be the longest and most confusing lockdown.
Yes, it did.
So that was, I mean, you're like, oh, you had a newborn, that's so sad. But also it meant that I was kind of off work anyway. And, you know, what else were you doing besides like staying home? It's like the main time that you stay home. So in some ways it was like better. It's like kind of a good time. But in some ways it's much worse because you don't have as much help.
And
We did
also just
form
like
an illegal bubble with my parents who live, no, Rachel's parents who live on the same road. So you can come arrest us now if you want.
yeah. That was the reason I feel like it would have been hard was because I feel like having a toddler in lockdown would be not ideal. The newborn, I'm like, meh, they're at home anyway. The toddler, not good.
That's the worst one we had a 10-month-old for the first one, and that was kind of fine. Like he didn't really need a lot, but yeah, the toddler is quite needy and you have to pay him quite a lot of attention. And so Frances ended up a bit like socially stunted, and I don't know whether it's because of the lockdown. Like she wouldn't be held by her grandparents for more than a year.
No. It was a long time before Frances liked me, which really hurt my heart. As a people pleaser, really tough to be an auntie that their niece does not like.
I think my mum was just basically like an emotional meltdown, like 'cause Frances
Despair.
would literally cry whenever she was touched by anyone that wasn't me or Rachel.
Yeah. She's great now, though.
She
Great.
loves everyone.
Yep. Little
No one
social
loves harder
butterfly.
than Frances.
She's the best. She's the best.
Yeah.
And the age gap between the two is like just over 2 years, eh? Or just under 2 years.
Just over. 2 years, 3
Yes.
months? Yeah,
Yep.
pretty close together, I'd say.
Yeah, and what did you think in retrospect? How do you feel about that age gap? Is it cheating that I know you and I already know what your answers are going to be? Probably, but that's fine.
I thought it was going to be good, and I think it is good long term, but like, man, like, they just fought so much because like the other kid is still pretty young and can't understand why this like idiot baby is ruining their stuff all the time. And this is like it was really hard in the I think it's I always say it is like short-term pain for potential long-term gain with the smaller age gaps. Like it's a very high upfront investment in terms of the amount of fighting and child rearing you have to do, but like long term, I think they get along pretty well now and they like play together, and there's like times where we don't have to be paying attention to anyone. We had like friends around on Friday night, and everyone, including Francis, went downstairs and just played Beyblades for several hours.
That is so nice. That's the dream.
I'm sorry.
That is the dream. That's okay. That's okay. We'll
It's
get
not
there.
okay though, is it? It's not.
No, it's
I
not.
know
I'm
it's
dying,
hard
but
to
it's
hear.
fine.
It's hard to hear. I've been there.
But it's nice. It's hopeful for the future. You know, it makes me optimistic about what my life will be like
I
eventually.
don't want to
you
offer
know?
any guarantees. I have no advice for parents.
I had
Please
a question.
do not take anything I say as advice. I know
No, this is
nothing.
not an advice podcast. This is a we just want to hear your experiences podcast.
Good. I
Um,
just want to put that disclaimer out there. I am an idiot.
yeah, they already know that by now, Hayden. It's fine. Don't
Oh,
worry.
thank goodness. I've made
We've
that
been talking
clear.
for half an hour. They know.
This is a nice dynamic. Do you call your other guests an idiot, or is it that's just a little thing for
Just
family
you.
members?
That's just for you.
Okay, sweet.
What is the age gap between? Because people will not know that you are from a family of 4 siblings, 4 brothers. What are the age gaps between you guys?
Me? What do you think I am, guys? Answer, I'm the oldest. A lot of people say I've got youngest energy.
You do.
I'm not like you.
Whoa, okay.
I'm not like
do
one
you
of
come
you
onto,
guys.
Do you go onto other podcasts and say that to the host, or is that just
Yes.
reserved for family?
I do. No, I
yeah,
insult
actually,
everyone.
some people, if Hayden's voice is familiar, if you listen to Flightless Bird, Hayden pops up on Flightless Bird a lot. And to be fair, you're treating me a lot nicer than you treat David. So,
If anything,
that's
I've
good.
toned it down
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I know that your listeners will come for me.
They will.
You're notoriously aggressive listener base that
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
after people.
Just like the loveliest corner of the internet, just really go after my guests. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
We've all heard about it. Sorry, guys.
Anyway.
Me, 2 years, that's my brother Cam, and then another 3 years, and that's my twin brothers Lance and Kent. Who
Yep.
weren't, I think, meant to be twin boys, and were actually meant to be one girl. But
They didn't do a
sometimes
great job
God
on
likes
that,
to
did
play
they?
a little joke.
Just a little fun prank to round out the family there.
Totally.
But they're all lovely, so like it's worked out well.
Oh, I could take or leave Kent.
Kent is our he comes and fixes all our electrical issues for us. So Kent is actually my favorite Donnell brother.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe keep Kent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We hung up
I
our
had to
TV.
pick one, and I was like, he's the one that seems most emotionally stable to be the victim of this joke. But actually, why didn't I pick Lance? Lance would totally not care.
Okay, Lance. We'll get rid of Lance.
Cam would.
Sorry, Lance.
Yeah.
Cam would.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually tell me a little bit very quickly about what the transition was like from not being a parent to being a parent. Like the day you got home with Thomas. How was that for your brain and self?
I just kind of loved it. I had a lot of endorphins and stuff at the time, and hormones and stuff. Like, for a long time, it was really fine. And he was a pretty sweet baby besides the sleeping, and we could take him out in the capsule and put him to sleep in restaurants. In some ways, I got that arrogant. I think some people, when they have one child and it's kind of an okay one, get a little bit like, this is okay. I don't know what everyone's complaining about. And then they start actually getting arrogant enough to maybe give out advice. And that's weird.
Not.
Don't. Because it gets a lot. It's I always say it's like water on rock, Abby. The first drips, they're not gonna hurt, but 5 years of drips, they start to add up. Very similar with parenting. So, I mean, it was a big transition, and it's a huge, responsibility thing, but I had a lot of hormones to help me with that, and it was quite exciting and new. I'd say it's more the long-term stuff that gets a little bit tiring.
Yeah. That's good. That's good that you didn't have the, because, Andrew and I both were oh my gosh, this is really hard and bad. We were both just in that first 6 weeks with Freddie, we were oh no, this is truly terrible. And then it took, we really, you know how some people have a newborn bubble and some people have the newborn trench? We are definitely newborn trench people. We do not enjoy that stage.
I feel like I'm more bubble, but maybe if you got Rachel on, she'd be like, I was staying up all night breastfeeding, and you, true to form, were sleeping through a lot of that. So
Andrew and I were talking about this yesterday, that so both our kids, we're quite lucky, both our kids have been quite good sleepers so far, but Max did hit the 4-month sleep regression real hard. And when she was in the 4-month regression, Andrew would wake up and be like, I feel like she wasn't that bad last night. That was okay. And I was like, that's really interesting because I woke up 6 times. And he was like,
So it's like,
Yeah.
maybe just wait until your co-parent has offered up the information of how the night has gone before you decide to say that the night has gone very well, just because you have slept through it all.
Yeah, that's probably good advice for me even today, really. I honestly, I sleep through everything. That people are not going to like to hear this. Like when I was a teenager, I was friends with a man that was probably quite insane, but he decided that I'd hit on his sister, which I don't think I had. But he
Okay,
decided to
that's good.
blow up my letterbox at night. He blew up
How
my
have I never
letterbox.
heard this story?
He's
What?
like made a little weird pipe bomb out of whatever fireworks or something and blew up my letterbox.
And you slept through it.
The fire department had to come. We lived in a bush. He could have murdered me,
It sounds like he was trying to.
but I didn't wake up, is what I'm trying to say. Like it was an explosion next to me.
It's like, seems like maybe one of the worst type of people that you could cross is like someone who can make a bomb.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
no longer here. He's in Denmark. I don't
That's
know.
good.
I think
That's nice
everyone
to
can
hear.
make a bomb if they just have enough fireworks and like I don't know
I
what
guess so.
what they used. I'll sleep through everything, I guess. One time I woke up in the morning at like 6 a.m. and I was like, oh, that was quite a nice sleep. And Rachel was sort of just like looking like
Like
leaning against the
dying.
headboard, like looking like she was literally shell shocked. I think she'd stayed up basically all night. And
Good.
yeah,
Good and helpful.
I do help. I do
Yeah,
help.
you do.
I have been
Very
quite an
hands-on.
involved parent, but that's not
You
going to
have.
sound good for me.
That's okay. Yeah, everyone's got to have a little downfall, you know? So, question number 2 is, what does successful parenting mean or look like to you?
This strays dangerously close to advice. So when I think about what I probably bristled with growing up and what I aspire to be in my own life, I feel like it's mainly treating your kids with dignity and respect and like they are human beings that have their own autonomy. And obviously you do have to parent them and be above them in some ways and guide them, but also like they have their own value and their opinions are worthwhile. So I think that manifests in a bunch of different ways, like treating kids like seriously and taking them
Yeah.
seriously. And not just like they're just born to obey you. Having, I guess, a collaborative relationship with them as well as just that sort of top-down parenting one. That's like a general principle.
Yeah.
Is that something that you...
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just thinking, like, so Freddie's 3.5, and it's like a big old developmental time of like finding their autonomy and like breaking, like pushing boundaries, and like it's that real developmental stage. And I'm really struggling with it, which I didn't think I would, because like as a person, I'm the same. Like I want him to be his own person. I love that he's like figuring out his own autonomy, but I'm finding it interesting how hard it is for me to like relinquish that idea of like, but I'm your mum and I'm telling you to do something, so you should just do it. Like I love that he is growing up to be this like little independent, autonomous human being, but being a parent to that is really hard. So I guess like, what do you have any like practical, not advice because we're not giving advice, but like what is something that you do that like, you know, people are still getting their shoes on and getting out the door, but also you're like giving them space to be their own little human being?
Oh, it is just really hard. Like, that's a pretty utopian idea. And I think that sometimes when kids are young, especially like Freddie's age and stuff, like, it's not like you're going to be able to sit down and have this like detailed conversation with them about the ins and outs of why it's good to get their shoes on and out the door. So sometimes that's just like giving them two options, giving them some like the feeling of autonomy when they don't actually have autonomy, you know, the pink or the green shoes, you know, like just giving them a choice somewhere and trying to like, I guess, fool them into the idea that they have agency. And then often they will, it's like the bananas and countdown or whatever. If it's something that they can do themselves and get themselves, then I think that will sometimes help, but it's never a guarantee. And sometimes you will just be impossible and it's really hard and you kind of have to just get there. And just sometimes you won't have patience and sometimes you'll be really tired and you can't like be like, think through all of the list of parenting strategies that I've seen on Instagram and stuff like that. But I do find that with someone like Thomas's age, like 6, I can kind of like occasionally speak to him as a human being or relate things to him or have real conversations with him. And he loves being led into that adult circle and
Yeah.
treated like he is a guy that will have real opinions that we could value. Um, Sometimes I'll be like, Francis is always doing that. So I'll just like complain about Francis to him. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's just the way she is.
She's just little, yeah. That's what I do love that about you and Rachel is that like even from when Thomas was really little, you guys were really good at like bringing him into your conversations. Like he's always really interested to know like what we're talking about, and you guys are so good at just being like, oh yeah, this is what we're talking, like in a way that I just haven't seen many parents do. I think you guys are so good at like bringing him in to like participate with like every other adult in the room. That's just always been such a kind of like secondhand thing for you guys to do, which is so cool, like a second nature thing.
But that's also partly his personality. You know, he's a bit he's got an old soul, and he's relatively intelligent, and so you can like it's not always going to be the possible to do. But I mean, that's the other part of it. Like if I'm talking about good parenting, Rachel is kind of like the perfect parent.
She's
I don't know why you got
pretty
me
incredible.
on. Like I'm like actually so much worse at it.
Okay, I'll get Rachel on next and we can compare you.
He's going to be like, this is how you do it. Don't listen to that idiot.
Yeah, Rachel is quite amazing. Rachel's a speech language therapist, or a trained speech language therapist, and also has a master's or postgrad dip, or she's got some like extra qualification, but she's also just naturally like the most like calm, level-headed, patient, incredible mum.
Yes.
Just outrageous. Anytime I have a parenting question, I tend to message Rachel and say, hey, what do I do? And she always has like an incredible answer for me. What am I doing with you on the podcast? I don't know. I never message you.
Oh, yeah. And I wouldn't be able to answer even if I did get the question. So
I love
I
it.
should
Yeah.
just set a camera up near Rachel and you'll be able to see. Because she is very patient, and it's that Harrison gene. It's not fair because we don't have the same genetic composition.
We don't have it. We naturally don't have it.
Yeah. They're just very level. And she still does get tired and flustered and stuff, but she is,
Same
pretty
with
patient.
Andrew as well. Like I just never see him. Like he's just unflappable. And even when he like hits his tether, he's like, "Hey, would you mind just taking over?" It's never like ah. Like when I've hit my wall, I'm like ah, like huffing and puffing around the house, like slamming doors. And he's just like, "Hey, can you sub in? I'm just like a little bit tired now." It's
Yeah,
like,
we
okay.
really do fulfill the same role. If they're overwhelmed, it will go usually for Rachel. It'll go inward,
Yes.
and she'll more be like kind of slightly catatonic and potentially teary, where she's like
Yeah.
really upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
like,
yeah. I'm like snapping at everyone in the house.
yeah, just like give me some space.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
really do. That's nice. That's nice. So we've got each other, Hayden. That's lovely. Okay, question 3 is what is something about your parenting style that feels unique-ish to you?
I really struggle with this one as well because I'm like, what is actually different about me besides just my general weird personality and the way that I play with them? I think that maybe my main trait is coming up with what seem like life hacks at the time, parenting life hacks, that then become curses that follow me around for years.
Like what? Give us an
And
example.
Just think of one example is that to try and get Frances to sleep when she was a baby. She's now nearly 4. I would sing like to the tune of Little Donkey. I'd sing, little Frances, time to go to sleep. And it became
Yeah.
like a little thing that she wanted to go to
That's very
sleep. I am
cute.
still singing that. It's been like 3 years and it's transitioned. The tune is the same, but she doesn't
Okay.
want to be little anymore. So I have to sing,
Okay.
big old Frances, time to go. I've been singing this like every second night because we do turnabout for at least like 3 years now.
That is tough.
It goes on for quite a long time.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I was having trouble one time. I mean, it's always trouble trying to get them into the shower. I hate it so much. Like, if
It's
there's
just
one
like
thing about
the negotiation is just
like if I have to negotiate with you one more time about cleaning your body.
I know, and you're like, there are just things that I like. You just have to be clean. Like, that is just a health thing.
Yeah.
You just like, at some stage, you have to get in the shower and you have to get clean. And that is just, but it's like brushing your teeth as well. That's how I feel about brushing your teeth. It's like,
Yeah, it's kind of a nightmare. And so what I did is I attempted to come up with a hack, and I was like, I will give you. The first one I did was like, I'm going to give you a flower into the shower, and so I'd plant them in the carpet, and then the rain would come down, and the wind would blow, and then they'd grow up, and then like the wind would take them like to the shower,
it's so cute.
and I was like, this is great, I can do this.
Yeah.
But now somehow every time it's become like they want a different thing into it. They got sick of flour, and for some
Yeah.
reason I let them transition. Yesterday I
Idiot.
did
You fool.
a curtain into the shower for Francis, where I had to open and close her all around the house. I'm like doing Bulbasaurs into the shower for
Yeah.
Thomas, like
That's good.
vine whipping stuff, thunder shocking stuff
Yep.
as Pikachu.
Yep.
You know, I've done everything into the shower now, and I have to like carry them around the house. Like they've decided that to get the most out of this, they need to start at the other end of the house so that they get the longest, like whatever it is
Yeah.
into the shower. So they like go to the end of my
Geniuses.
bedroom, and I have to like do this thing for like a good 40 meters, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I don't know, like running around.
The problem is
lounge.
because I'm their auntie, is like I'm on their side. I'm like, whatever they're doing to be geniuses to get maximum fun out of you as a sucker,
Yeah,
I'm on their side.
I just guess that this is like a PSA. If you introduce any fun thing into your child's life at
Yeah.
any stage, if it makes your life easy, like you're like, this is cool, it'll make my life
This
easy
worked
in the
great.
moment.
Yeah,
You will be doing that for
forever.
a good 10 years.
Yeah.
That is your life now. Think
Let's
carefully.
open it up to the listeners. If you've got ideas of how Hayden can get his children to the shower, feel free to comment them below so he's got more ideas, because he's looking quite stressed about the situation.
No, they'll come up with something. It's a new horror every single night.
Love that for you. Okay, the fourth question is, what has your biggest what the f was that moment been since becoming a parent?
I think it's that Thomas was this like kind of sweet angel child for a really long time, which I knew
Mhm.
wasn't common. But then as soon as he turned 3, something happened that very closely resembled demonic possession. It's like he didn't do any emotional development. And then basically after he turned 3, his brain melted down into a slush. And he didn't. I know that kids have tantrums. Like Frances has always just had normal tantrums, but she's always seemed kind of in control, but just acting out. Thomas
Yeah.
seemed like he would actually lose control of his body, like would
Lose
lose,
his mind.
yeah, like full meltdown where he is no longer, and he would do it like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day, like to the point. I remember I've got this picture of him just like naked, hanging off the door handle, screaming of the bathroom and like kicking it. I don't
Yes.
even know why he was doing that.
I remember getting sent a photo of this.
Yes.
Terrifying.
But that was like happening so many times per day, just like fully out of control of his senses. Like there's
Yeah.
no reasoning with him. He was not human at that moment. I think his brain was just basically rewiring, and I'm really looking forward to it happening again at age 13 or whatever. Like he packed it all in. For 6 months it was like this, and it was like our lives were, it was like kind of insane making it. Like our lives were pretty much hell because you could not handle him.
And that
And
was when you also had like a baby under 1 as well. So it was like
yes,
all happening at the same time.
yeah, it was super overwhelming to the point where I basically don't remember it.
Trauma. Blacked it out.
Yeah. I'm like, that did happen. I do remember the meltdowns. I remember
Yeah.
one particular at the swimming pool in the changing room, and he just like, oh, he bumped his head. This is the thing. It could be anything. He just slightly bumped his head as he got up or something. And he just like screamed. He would not get in the car. He was just like fully in the demon realm. Like he just went into another place. And I was just like, I cannot do it. I can't, like, literally, I can't force you because, like, he's wiry.
No.
He's a wiry little guy.
He
He's really
is.
hard. You cannot, like, if you, you can't
manipulate that
get him.
kid.
Yeah, it's kind of manipulate because his arms will go, like, around. I don't know how he does it. He's all limb.
Yeah, he is.
I
He
couldn't
really
get him into
is.
a seat, you know, if he's squirming, I'm like, we're just
And if they
live
do
at
that
the
thing
full
where they
now.
go like, just like, where they like lock their limbs.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't get you in here. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, and you don't want to just, like, actually use overwhelming physical force on a small
No.
child.
And you also
So
just don't want to be
there's-
that
you're just
parent
stuck.
that's like out in public, like forcefully doing anything physical to their
No,
child.
no, but then it's like a bit of a dilemma because I'm like, I don't see any way that we're getting out of this.
No, how are we getting home? I don't know, because you won't get in your car seat.
There was just lots of situations like that, and it was 6 months, and then it was over, and he became an angel again. And he's
Was it just
been one
like,
since.
yeah, I mean, he's truly like, I'm biased because I'm his auntie, but he is an angel child. He is just the best thing in the world.
He
Was
did
there a
scream. He
time-
has screamed a lot at his sister. Like, let's be
Yeah.
clear. There's been bad situations.
But she screams back, so, you know.
She does stick up for herself.
Certainly
and to
not
be fair to
one-sided.
him, she can be pretty annoying.
She's a girl after my own heart, that Frances. But was it just like a thing where I can't even remember. I had a baby at the time, so I can't even remember what happened. Like, did it just come right one day, or did you was it a slow fade? Like, what happened?
Yeah, there was no like training him out of it. It was really just I think it was brain chemistry stuff, right?
Mm.
I didn't realize that it wasn't what everyone goes through. Like, I think it's not now.
No.
People have tantrums, but he was having full, yeah. Yeah, it just
And I
came right.
also feel like he never did any of the like terrible twos. Like he was a delightful 2-year-old, you know?
Exactly.
And then like all happened at 3.
Yeah, he basically packed his entire mental development into one 6-month window where he was essentially not human. He was
What a
in
cool and
between,
chill
like
way to do it.
when he wasn't melting down, he still had very moments where you like remember what he. But yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Love that.
that
Cool.
was the most what the fuck for sure.
Yeah.
It
Fair
was
enough.
horrible,
It's a good
and
example.
that could happen to you. Are you thinking of having children? Your child could be
This is
possessed by
actually-
demons roughly
this
4 to
is-
5 times per day.
This is a podcast that actually encourages people to not have children.
Oh, okay, sweet. Well, I'm helping. I'm a good
Oh,
PSA.
dear.
No, and then he came right, and it was all
Yeah.
good.
The fifth and final question of the pod is, if you were listening to this podcast on the day you became a parent, what would you want yourself to hear?
Man, buy clothes with zips, not domes.
Great advice.
For babies, you will go insane doing up that many domes. They poo too many times per day.
Yeah.
You got to get the domes back on. Like, that is fidgety.
You've got to
kinda
line them
work.
up, and there's so many of them.
It's like 100. That's just an estimate, but like at least 100 domes per onesie.
I think that your perception of numbers is really good.
I would say that's what it felt like to me emotionally back then. And
Okay.
so zips, your friend, that is one thing that I would say. And then I don't really there's no way of just being like, this is how you should do parenting. So I just kind of be like, it's going to be okay. I
Yeah.
just want to hear that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's it. Like, it's nice, and they're good. It's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
Yeah.
nice.
Net good.
Net. Emphasis on the net, because there's a lot of gross.
Net positive.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of income and a lot of expenses.
Yes.
But we're in the black.
Okay.
I think that's right. Positive.
I think so.
And like, you're not,
Yeah.
you just want to hear encouragement and you want to hear positivity. A lot of people, I actually don't like, I think that we get confused sometimes between like, there's obviously a movement to be realistic about parenting, because it used to be just like, here's my beautiful angel child and it's fine. And
Yeah.
you should have a child too. It's the 1950s. Go bake something.
Yeah. Get a lobotomy.
And that's good. That's not good. Sorry. But at the same time, then like, there's a whole like being negative about it all the time
Yeah.
can feel quite punishing.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes you just like, you do want to just hear from someone that's like in a realistic way, like this is not going to be good all the time, but also it is good.
Yeah.
It
I
is
agree.
good, and there are beautiful things about it, and this is a great thing that you're doing.
Yeah, and I think it's like that thing of, it's easy to talk about all the hard stuff. Like, it's easy to talk about the sacrifice and the lack of autonomy, but then, like, I always feel like, because the hard stuff is quite big, but the good stuff is, like, lots and lots of little things, and so you forget to kind of, like, talk about all these tiny little moments that you're having throughout the day that are just, like, very lovely and wonderful, and, like, funny things that your kids say, and, like... I just think it's easy to talk about all these like huge life changes and easy to not talk about all these like little lovely bits and pieces that happen to
I almost
offset.
think like a lot of the negative stuff is like a lot of the punishing parts of your day, which do become way more punishing. And the world is definitely just not set up for it. Like the world is still
Yeah.
set up for the 1950s, where
Yeah.
one parent stays home and one parent and raises the child, and the other parent goes to work. Like the economy is set up for that, but it's no longer a feasible lifestyle. I think that maybe the actual change could have been that dads should take care of. Like, it should have been like, you can still survive on one income, but dads can
Yeah.
do the parenting bit. Like, that would have been a
Yeah.
good change.
100%.
Rather than like, now all of you have to work and raise a
Now
child, and you
everyone
have
goes
no
back
time
to
to
work.
sleep. You have no time to sleep or
Yeah.
enjoy your life. Hey,
Yeah.
sweet change. Thanks for
What a
that.
cool compromise for everyone.
It's because a lot of the negative stuff is like, it's a day to day, but the positive thing is this one large, beautiful child that is there. That's kind of the positive, like
Yeah.
you are seeing their life come into being, and like seeing them come into being, and like you are pouring a lot of your energy into them. It's like a suction drain that's going out of your brain and energy into them. But then you are like, it is something beautiful that they're becoming, and like it's cool to see that, and it's cool to live life through someone else's eyes again.
I agree. Yeah. And I think you're right in that, like, the things that are hard, it's like almost all external. It's like all the external stuff. It's like systems and capitalism, and like that is what makes it hard. Like, if there was set up for it, obviously there'd still be hard stuff, but there are ways to mitigate that our society is just not doing. But yeah, I agree.
I think it's quite hard to understand as well when you're not like a parent. I remember being quite resentful, like parents get all this stuff to like,
Yeah.
that's such
Time
an ignorant.
off, and yeah. They get to leave the office early when their kid's sick.
Yeah, it's not enough. Like, it really, like, childcare is expensive,
Yeah.
and the amount of time that goes into raising a child is vast. And there's really not systems put in place to actually enable you to do that in a way that doesn't come at a huge cost. Financially, emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's a failure of society, really. But I don't think it's a failure of our kids.
No, definitely. And I don't think it's a failure of parents either. I think
Parents, yeah.
parents are just like trying to do the best they can with what we've got.
Yes. Even you, Abby.
Even me? What are you doing? What does that mean?
I want this to be my last podcast. I want to have to go into hiding after this. I need a
Okay.
break.
On that note, that we come to the end of the pod. Thank you, Hayden, for joining me today. I know that speaking about parenting is perhaps not your natural topic to want to talk about, but I do very
Totally.
much appreciate you coming on and chatting with me. For those who are now intrigued by you and want to find out more about you, where can they find your work?
Oh, probably the best is just go the spinoff.co.nz, and I'm there quite a lot, an increasing amount. Or go to YouTube, look up Get It to Papa. The second episode, I don't want to spoil it, but
Okay.
it's
We'll
got a
leave them
famous,
on that
a
cliffhanger.
famous New Zealand singer in it. The second episode about
Very
big
exciting.
fish.
No, Get It to Papa is fantastic, truly fantastic. So definitely watch it. And all the spin-off stuff is good as well. Sometimes he's talking about very serious things. Sometimes he's talking about very not serious things, but we love them all equally.
Yeah.
So, for those people who don't know, what happens now is for non-Substack subscribers, this is where the episode ends. Thank you for joining us. But if you want to hear the secret sixth question that I have created for Hayden today, you can head over to my Substack and it will be there. So, thank you, non-subscribers.
Why do you parent like that?
Thank you for listening to this episode of Why Do You Parent Like That? Why Do You Parent Like That is created by me, your gal, Abby Harrison. Huge love and snuggles to my gorgy nephew and niece, Thomas and Francis, for lending their voices to my jingle, as well as a massive thank you to the iHeartRadio Podcast Network team for giving this little pod a place to call home. Be sure to follow our socials to stay up to date with podcast happenings, as well as chaotic insights to my life. If you have a story that you reckon would be neat to share on the pod, flick me an email at whydoyouparentlikeThatpodcast@gmail.com. Love you! Say it back.